What's up, everybody? This is Scotty Reed of Black Talk Radio News. Make sure y'all check out my program Monday through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time exclusively on the Black Talk Radio Network. Also support the nonprofit Black Talk Media Project. Appreciate recent donations. Remember, those donations are tax deductible. So I'm just chilling on the front porch. You may hear some children in the background. That's next door at the church. They had some type of event, and the children been out there in the parking lot. So you might hear some children yelling in the background, and also some cars going up and down the road. So I did a show today on Codification and ADOS. I talked about this story. By the way, join BTRcommunity.com. It is the social network. There was a guy just whipped by on his moped and a couple of cars coming up the street. But BTRcommunity.com is the social media community for Black Talk Radio Network. It's managed by the nonprofit Black Talk Media Project. So you could get a subscription for $24 a year. You don't have to use your real name or anything like that. It's a more codified way to engage in social media, because you can post stuff on Facebook and it'll come back to harm you or haunt you, as they say, in your employment or your attempts to get employment. So y'all have to be careful about what y'all posting out there in your own names. You should always be codified. And speaking of codification, this story, as I posted on my profile on BTR Community, ADOS woman beats victim while shouting xenophobic slurs. That was posted by the New York Daily News. I was lucky she did not kill me. Victim of race-fueled subway beatdown. And I'm not sure it was race-fueled. It was more xenophobic than it had to do with race, because Hispanic isn't a race. Hispanic is people who have speak Spanish now because of the European Spanish Empire that conquered many of these lands, so they speak Spanish as a result. Just like many Native Americans and descendants of victims of slavery speak English. It's not their native tongues. But anyway, so I talked about this story earlier today. Oh, by the way, check out the podcast. The podcast should be up, or it'll be up once I go back indoors. But I talked about this story, and I talked about codification. It says, soon the angry woman began antagonizing them, which lasted for a good 10 minutes, the victim said. When the victim's co-worker tried to intervene, the attacker allegedly screeched, "You're going to defend this effing B word." And this woman, who appears to be African-American, they still trying to identify her, shouted about something about taking our jobs, and she had been drinking as well. Very uncodified behind the enemy lines of USA Inc., where they still practicing slavery. So now the slave catchers is looking for her because of her non-codification, but how that also relates to white supremacy and in our behavior as non-white people, if we are behaving in such a way that it aids white supremacy or promotes injustice and isn't producing justice. If you're talking about you want justice or live in a system based on justice and not white supremacy, you can't act like white supremacists. So here is a video of a white woman, two old white women. I would say that they suspected racist, white supremacists. They talk like them, and they say if they talk like it, if it quack like a duck, walk like a duck, then it's probably a duck. So they talking like white supremacists. They are probably adherents to the religion of white supremacy that expresses itself through all areas, nine areas of people activity. So just watch this video. It's just a minute and 48 seconds long.
If you want to keep speaking Spanish, go back to your Mexican your state. Guess what, man? I'm not Mexican. I'm not Mexican, but you're being very prejudiced, and I want you out of my restaurant right now. I'll finish my meal, and then you know what? I'll do it for you, man. I'll call this house. Have you transferred? It'll be easier for me. It'll be easier for you. Have people like you, so ignorant and disrespectful. We are ignorant. You're very ignorant and disrespectful. Have a great day and get out of my restaurant. Don't worry, we're going. This isn't your restaurant. Yes, it is, ma'am. It is not. It is. Wow. Wow. And you know what? The owner of this franchise is Mexican. His name is Guillermo Morales. They always speak English. No, they don't. He does not. You're very inconsiderate and you're very rude. So, get your business somewhere else. Get your business somewhere else. You don't have to. You don't know how to act by round. Excuse me, you're telling me not to speak my native language? You're being really prejudiced, ma'am. You're being really prejudiced. I didn't tell you. I said you should speak it. You know what? Here. I have nothing to say to you, ma'am. Just have a nice day, and they'll come. Don't worry. I'm glad you won't.
And so that's the video right there. Two white women practicing white supremacy against the guy. And if you look at the story, the guy is Puerto Rican. That makes him a U.S. citizen by way of being conquered by the United States, colonizing Puerto Rico. You just had one of their Puerto Rican independence freedom fighters get out of prison. I think it was Oscar Rivera Lopez is the one. So he doesn't speak Spanish. May not be his native tongue. If he's Puerto Rican, his heritage, he could have many different ethnic lines, well, up to 3 different ethnic lines. But he's speaking Spanish because of Spanish. The Spain used to colonize that island. So anyway, though, but when this woman, and let me go back down here to the African American woman. What set her off was these women were speaking Spanish, and the victim who was attacked lived in the Bronx or wherever it is that she lives. She's catching the subway for 34 years, and also likely to be Puerto Rican or what have you, which is more of a colonized nationality.